So today we're going to talk about how to log in and see your issues on the online portion of 360 Field. You should have received an email of instructions on how to log into the website. It should have also provided you a generic password to log in for the first time. Once you log in, you should be able to change your password to something that works more for your needs. I'm going to walk you through how to log in and actually view these issues that are created out in the field on the job site and allow you to view them in the office environment. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. When we sign in, you'll see a long list of the issues, which can be kind of overwhelming at first. This list has all the issues open, closed, all the different types of issues as well. But we're going to apply some filters to get down to what you actually need more specifically. This list acts pretty similar to an Excel spreadsheet that you're familiar with different types of filters. So the first thing we're going to do is apply a filter for the QA/QC items. So all you need to do is go to the type and change your issue type to QA/QC. You'll notice that it'll update the list automatically with those issue types, and then you'll see here it also shows the closed items as well with the open items as well. We're only really interested in seeing the open items right now to get a better idea of what's out there. I'm going to change the status to open as well, and you'll see that that list now comes down to only 3 items. The reason that they have all of the open, closed, and all the different types of issues from the beginning is that it really allows you to start from a certain point and then filter down to what you're looking for. So obviously this list is a little bit more easy to read and not as overwhelming. So what we're going to do is go into an actual issue here. So I'm going to double click on this issue right here. You'll notice that it'll pop open a window that has a little bit more description about that issue. All this information on the details page is all visible from the list mode, but what we are really interested in is the attachments. When you click on attachments, you'll notice that this is a picture that is associated with this issue. If you want to see this picture in a larger image, go ahead and click on it and you'll notice that it'll download it to your computer to view as well. Once it's done downloading, you'll be able to see that picture from your viewer. The other portion of this pop-up window is the comments view. You'll see here you can actually add a comment to this issue and hit the plus sign to add it. This is just a conversation thread of different people on this item. This can come in really handy when you want to know what the status, or when you want to know what someone commented about for this issue itself. When you're done, go ahead and hit close, and it'll take you right back out to the list mode. If you want to, you can actually change the status of multiple items from this list mode. If you hold shift and click the item at the bottom, you'll see it will actually select all of them, and then you can go ahead and hit change it from open to work completed. If you want to select just specific items, what I'm doing is holding control, which will select the different items that you're interested in changing the status from. So I could go ahead and check these and then change these to work completed as well. The really powerful part behind the website is the reports that this program can generate for you. These reports can be printed out in PDF or an Excel format to give to your foreman in the field, to give to the laborers to actually complete the work. That report section is on the top right, and if we click on it here, we're going to go in and see the different options that we can choose from for this report. You'll see over on the side here it has an issues report, which we're actually going to play around with and dive into creating one of these right now. You have 3 different options. The details view, which shows all of that information that came in the pop-up window, as well as the attachments. You have a list view, which obviously doesn't show any attachments if you want just a list view. And then you can also print a report that's a list by location. So these 3 reports are yours to choose from to whatever suits your need for whatever you want to print. We're going to go ahead and get into a detail report and select from some different options to create this report. So say for example I want to print off a report that has all of my open QA/QC items. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this title to Open QA/QC Items. I want to make a PDF report because I actually want to include the attachments on that as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply those filters that we did on the main page in our list to create this report. If you go down to issue types, and we're going to select from a drop down into the QA/QC, then we're also going to select the open items for that issue type. For this report, I actually want to print all of my locations. If you only want to print a certain building or a certain area or a certain level, you could actually go and select from the drop-down list that has the different levels or areas that you're interested in printing on this report. You'll notice that this checkbox says include sublocations, which allows you to print a floor or a building report as a whole. Under this extra portion, we're going to include the attachments after each item. And the attachment size, I'm going to do a couple thumbnails on a page. I think that looks nice to include as many pictures on the page as you can. A nice feature here too is you can actually include the comments on these reports as well. So say you're sitting in a meeting and you want to talk about who said what at what time, including the comments I have found is a pretty handy thing to include on these reports. So after that, that's about it. These are some pretty common fields to include here to print a report. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit run now, which is going to give you a progress bar. Once this progress bar is complete, it'll give you three different options to either open this report in a browser, save it on your computer, or download it. Once that's done, you can choose from whichever option to allow you to better get that information out to who you are printing the report for. This process doesn't take too long depending on the amount of issues that you are generating in this report. You can walk away and come back at that time, or you can sit and kind of watch it as it completes. So this report should only have 3 items. So what I'm going to do is, the last item here is actually sent. So you can actually email this report straight from the website if you wish to do that. What I'm going to do, just for view's sake, is actually view this in a web browser on the internet here. So when I click on that, you'll notice that a new a new window will pull up. And let's take a look at this report. So this is a PDF report. You'll notice this was the item that we actually looked into on the previous list page. You'll see it has the company, the type of issues that we're looking into, the status, the due date, the author, all of this information that was seen on the list form. But if you scroll down, you'll notice that it has the comments which we wanted to include, as well as any attachments that were within that item as well. If you scroll down here, you'll see this is another item, and how you know which item you're in is that each item actually has a unique identifier associated with it here. So this sheet appears to have 1 attachment associated with it. This next issue item appears to have two attachments associated with it, and again, the location of where these are at are located here as well. So let's scroll down to the 3rd item here. Again, these were the 3 items that we were reviewing on the list component after we applied the filters to them. So this was the 3rd item, and it must have 2 different attachments associated with it. Here, it looks like we've had quite a bit of conversation about this item through the comments part. Once you have this list, if you right-click, you should be able to hit print and open up your local printer to allow you to take this to a printer and give to someone in the field. If you wish, you can actually download that file as well. When you click download, it should download it as a file under your downloads folder for you to save it, and then obviously the send is going to give you a pop-up window to email it to whomever you like. The other nice feature behind the reports is being able to schedule reports. So say this is something that you want to get a report for every day but don't want to come in here and actually go through the process of selecting these different items. Up at the top here, once all of your settings are the way that you want them, you can go ahead and hit the schedule button, which allows you to actually set a place and time of when you want this report to be sent to you. So it auto-populates the schedule name. And then what we want to do is we want to run this every day. So I'm going to select every week and then go into the certain days that I want it to be run. I'm going to select what time of the day I want it to be run at. Say I want it to be run at the end of the day. So in the morning when I come in, I can select what, or I can see which items I need to do complete that next day. You can also add different people who you want this sent to. For example, if you want this sent to another person within your company, you can add them to that email as well. The subject is what is going to be the email subject. I recommend using the schedule name and possibly the project that is associated with this report. And then the message is going to be what's in the body of the email. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to please see attached issue report for open QA QC items. Once you're done with this setting, go ahead and hit Save Scheduled Report, and that will allow you to have this report saved and then sent to you every morning with the different criteria that you set forth. Once you save that report, you will be able to go over here under Schedules and see which reports you have scheduled. I'm not going to save this one for the purpose of whoever I'm logged in under here. So I'm going to go to Scheduled, but they actually already do have a today's issue report that they've already created. So if I go in here and actually click on this, I can actually run it right now if I want to, say during the day. I can copy or delete it. So I'm going to go in here and see what different issues, or see what type of report they're actually already creating. So it looks like they are opening all their issue types open, or they're going to create a report for all their different issue types, not just the QA/QC items, and then they want to see all the statuses of open. They have the attachments going to be appearing after with the comments, and it looks like they changed some things around in the message and subject line as well. So this is an example of a saved scheduled report, and again, that's visible over here under the scheduled. And again, you can create these scheduled reports for any different type of report that you want to create. So if you don't want the details report, say you want more of a list, you can also do that as well. That scheduled part is available in any of the different reports. So the reports function is a very handy tool to use once you're within the website component. It takes that information out of the program and gives it to the people who may be actually doing the work out in the field. I'm going to go ahead and hit back home here on the top left, and you'll notice that it'll take you back to the beginning, which is that long list of your issues as well, both open and closed for all of the different types. There's no filters on this whenever you go back to home. So that's a quick little tutorial on how to see your issues on the online portion of the software. Again, the report section is up here on the top right, and if you want to get back into your home and view all of your issues, you can go and select home as well. I hope that helps, and if you have any more questions, feel free to contact me, and we'll hope to hear from you soon.